Yo, guys, what is going on? Welcome back to the FIFA Flow podcast, guys. It has been a while now, guys. It's been about 3 months since we have posted our last podcast, guys. And now we are back again. Club football is back. Paris, the best team in football to ever grace the sport, is back. Paris Saint-Germain, guys. Let's go. Ici c'est Paris. Allez, Paris, guys. Let's get it, man. Club football is back, guys. It's been 3 months since we recorded a podcast, and there has been a lot of football that we have missed. Of course, we missed the Euros, we missed the Olympics, like maybe talking about the football Olympics, of course, with France making it to the final alongside with Spain, which we will talk a bit about Spain. Not the Euros, not Spain as a national team, but I just kind of want to mention them, give them like a little mention in the video. But yeah, we missed the Euros. We missed and actually it's quite odd because the Euros was the last Euros, the 2020 Euros, or it was in 2021, was actually what started my podcast. And then I didn't do the next Euros, which was just ended like a month ago. So yeah, I actually started my podcast during the first Euros, like not the first Euros, but like my first episode was on the Euros, and then we didn't cover the Euros. So it's quite a weird thing. But anyways, guys, yeah, we missed the Euros, we missed the Olympics, and a lot of transfer news. Of course, a lot of things have changed. Of course, Kylian Mbappe has gone to Real Madrid, guys. Of course, that big news. Of course, we all knew it was gonna happen. We literally all knew it was gonna happen eventually, and this year it happened. But on top of that, I want to talk about some of the controversy that's going on with Kylian Mbappe and Paris Saint Germain. We're going to be talking about the opening games last week, of course. We're going to be talking about 4 games. La Liga. We're going to be talking about Barcelona versus Valencia 2-1. We're going to be talking about Real Madrid versus Mallorca, Kylian Mbappe's first league game. He had a game with Real Madrid in the Super Cup versus Atalanta because Real Madrid won the Champions League last year and Atalanta won the Europa League against an unbeaten Leverkusen. So I want to talk about I won't talk about that game as well. Um, but I wanted to mention that as well. We will be talking about Kylian Mbappe's first league game, but second game for Real Madrid. Barcelona, I mentioned. We're going to be going over to the Ligue 1. We're going to be talking about that first, actually, because, of course, the best team in the world plays there. Paris Saint Germain, PSG ball is back, and we're going to be talking about the opening game there. And then we're also going to go ahead and talk about the Prem as well. We're going to be talking about Manchester City versus Chelsea, of course. And then we're not really any other games, but I just want to talk about the Prem as a whole. Like go over the both all three of these leagues, of course, the main three leagues. Yet again, this season we won't be covering the Bundesliga nor the Serie A. Maybe sometimes if there's a Milan derby, if Leverkusen versus Bayern or something like that, we will talk about those. But other than that, we won't be covering those two leagues. So if you are a fan of those two leagues, if your team is from those two leagues, I'm sorry to say we won't be covering those on this podcast this season. But club football is back. The podcast is back. We are here. Hopefully, we can do weekly, of course. I'm going back to university in 2 weeks, about 2 weeks' time. So I'm not guaranteed to do it weekly, but definitely, hopefully, every other week at least. We want to talk about it. Maybe midweeks now. It's not a guaranteed day because it depends how often I'm free. I have free time, like outside of university time, my own time. So, yeah, that is that. Let's go ahead and talk about these games, guys. Let's get into it, and then we have some transfer news, of course, and then also ended off with the football knowledge that we always do, guys. It's back. It's back. It's here. Let's start off with Paris Saint Germain versus Le Havre, guys. 4-1 PSG. Now, I have some pros and cons about this game. Let's talk about the game, man. I love this game, man. I was so happy to see PSG ball back, and I was so happy because this team some we played some really good football. Now, I'll be a bit honest. I expected more from PSG because we only started scoring. We scored 3 goals after the 80th minute, so that was a bit disappointing. But my pros from this game were the individual performances. And specifically I was looking mainly at Goncalo Ramos, who went out injured early on in the game. I think right when he scored, was it? No, it was Kangan Lee who scored the first goal, but it was very early on in the game. but I was looking at individual performances. One, of course, now with the departure of Kylian Mbappe, I wanted to look at how are these new attackers going to position themselves. And you can definitely tell there is a bit of a different feel in the attack. They're not really playing all those through balls into the attack because in the past, in the last season, Kylian Mbappe is the one who's the main target man. If you see him make the run behind, you play that ball to him. You try to play around Kylian Mbappe, make sure Mbappe gets the ball in front of the goal or gets a scoring opportunity, give it to him and he'll do the work. But what I saw with this team now, without really a main star player, we played more collectively, is what I'd say. And that's what I like about football, is playing collectively. The tiki taka, of course, you have that with Prime Barcelona tiki taka, you know how it works. And that's what you get when you have Luis Enrique Lucho as your coach. You're gonna get tiki taka, collective team effort football. So that's what I really like for sure. Um, but as I said, going back to the striker situation, the attacker situation, as I said, it's more collective. They try to pass it, look for who's open, go for that shot opportunity. Sometimes they have an individual opportunity, maybe do a skill to fake it out. I will talk about that in a moment with Kangan Lee. But when we go specifically to the striker situation, Goncalo Ramos went out early, but I will say that I have seen some development, some progress being made towards Kolomwani. Kolomwani last season played more on the wing, so yes, he was kind of making those runs in behind, but I feel like this season this season he's like it's easier for him to make those runs in behind because I feel like the runs that he makes some good diagonal runs to make some passes, like to get some passes through behind the defense and go for a goal. And I really like that. The runs that he makes, those diagonal runs, um, like in behind the defense, is really really good to kind of move the players around and open up the space for his teammate. I really like that. And then I think what he needs to improve on is just his finishing. I honestly be honest, his runs, his movement, his attack positioning was incredible. It's just I feel like a little bit on the ball, maybe his passing as well, and then of course his shooting. He needs to finish it. He needs to fix his shooting. He did score a penalty in the 90th minute, but man, his shooting is awful, man. He had some good one-on-one chances and he missed. Not missed, but like he just hits it to the keeper or I don't know, but I was okay with the striker situation that we have. I was okay with how our attack played. Now let's talk about the individual performances, some of the new signings, some of the players overall. Kangan Lee, man, this guy is a different gravy, man. The way this guy dribbles, he's small, he's agile, and his power shots are amazing. The first goal, the only goal that he scored, amazing, amazing. As I said, collective football. Asensio, man, I really like this role that Asensio is playing in, a false nine role. And I was scrolling on Twitter earlier, and I follow like so many PSG accounts that they were saying that they want to move and keep Asensio in this false nine role, and I really really like that because not only like sometimes he helps defends, but I think because of that Real Madrid tax, he kind of knows the vision, the ways to pass it around in the middle, between the middle field and the attack. I really like that. First, of course, he wins the ball in the midfield. He carries it up, passes it to Goncalo Ramos. Goncalo Ramos back to Vitinha. Vitinha out wide to Kangan Lee. And then Kangan Lee finesse shot far post. Amazing, amazing collective team effort. I like how Kangan kind of took his time. He waited for that clear chance. He didn't shoot it right away like a first time, but he saw the opportunity. He saw, okay, keeper is out of his line. Let me go far post. So amazing effort by him. Amazing collective team goal. But going back to Kangan Lee individually, man, he had an amazing performance. The runs he makes, he's on the wing. And I think every team kind of has that player where they're able to dribble, to move the ball, to run down the wing, to hold the ball off of the opponents. And I feel like for us, it's got to be Kangan Lee. He's that player who kind of holds onto holds onto the ball. Yeah, his dribbles, his power shot, man. He had a cook. He had an absolute outstanding like performance. There was a moment in the game where he does a step over towards the top of the box, like he's facing away from the net, and then he fakes, goes back, and power strikes it with his left foot, hits the top of the bar. So amazing performance by King and Lee. And then we go over here, and Mbappe didn't really pay much attention to him, but the midfield, as I said, Asensio, great as that false nine role. Vitinha, Zaire Emery, and the new signing, we got him, I think, for 80 mil or 70 mil, something like that. João Neves. Man, 18-year-old João Neves from Portugal. Vitinha, the Portuguese, I think he's 22 years old, 23. And Zaire Emery, 18 years old as well. These three midfielders should be illegal, man. Zaire Emery, more of a defensive orient, not really defensive orient, like more of a box to box, but more defensive than João Neves and Vitinha. I think maybe he's a bit more bulky or more physical. That like Vitinha and João Neves are a little bit more agile, I'd say. Vitinha, man, this guy, I've mentioned him so much. He's my favorite player. Now, he's not. You can't compare him to Verratti. In the past, I had been calling him the Verratti 2.0, but Vitinha has a different role from Verratti. And what role I would like him like? What who I'd compare Vitinha to? Luka Modric, man. This guy, he's open, he's in the space, and the way his vision is, whether it's over the top through balls, there was an amazing play where Kolomwani makes a run behind the defense. Like you have the whole defense here. Oops, I'm drawing. How do you undraw? Yeah, here. Like you have the whole team here, and then you have Vitinha here. Like you have all these players back over here. You have Vitinha open over here. It's not really like the number 7. Like it could have been another player, but Vitinha's open here. He tries to go back, like he kind of does a fake back to pass it back, and then goes back like a Modric type movement, and then he sees this run here in behind, and he does like a through ball type, exactly like Luka Modric, and then that's where again Kolomwani, or I don't think it was Kolomwani, I think it was Asensio who missed it, like hit the keeper, but yet again going back, it's that individual performance um by that vision, that passing, the way that Vitinha plays reminds me of Luka Modric. He's a different Vitinha is a different role from Verratti. Verratti will never be replaced at, at Paris Saint Germain. This guy is a legend for us, and man, I miss him so much. I wish we still had him, but I'm happy to see the way that PSG are moving within the transfer market. Is we're going for more youth players, players that we can develop individually ourselves, not players who have made a name for themselves at another club and then come here and perform big. We're not really going for the star players. We're going for players who can play collectively as a team. And I mentioned that before, and that's what I'm seeing more with Paris Saint Germain. From last season, we were still playing more for the star player, which was Kylian Mbappe. But now that the star player is gone, now it's more collectively. So I really like that Vitinha, man. Same as that Modric role. And João Neves had a really good game, man. He was trying to play that same type of role that Vitinha has. More defensive than Vitinha. Not as defensive as Zaire Emery, but he's positioned well. And of course, he has some good vision as well. I think there was one vision where, yeah, there was one ball where he passed it out wide to, what's his name? To Barcola, and Barcola did a nice. He did some like nice agile dribbling, like kind of like a feints, and then finessed it far post. Amazing, amazing goal there by Barcola, Bradley Barcola. And then going to the back line, not much really to say about the back line. The only player I want to mention in this back line is what's this guy's name? Willian Pacho, is that his name? Yeah, Willian Pacho. Of course, we've got him from Frankfurt, the Colombian center back. He's 22 years old. He is a bit shaky. He is a bit shaky. I think what I've noticed is he pushes up a little bit too much. I think he just needs to hold that back line a bit more. He pushes up too much. Other than that, amazing performance, 4-1. Not amazing performance because we had to score after we only scored 3 goals to make it 4-1 after the 80th minute. which I will take. I'm not saying we did bad, but I expected us against Le Havre as well. I expected us to score way earlier, man. These guys, I think they went to. What did these guys get last season? They got 15th, bro. They were one win. They actually had less wins than the guys who got relegated. Now, actually, I think Mets are still in Ligue 1. Oh, they're not, man. They lost. Anyways, yeah. I expected a little bit more, but overall, great performance. I'm excited to see what happens on more like throughout the season. Um, but now with Goncalo Ramos injured, the only striker we have is Colomwani. So I have two sides to this story now. Is now that Goncalo Ramos is out for at least 3 months, I believe. This either means we give more playing time to Colomani and he becomes a better player, or we have to sign a backup striker or like a new striker, a rotational striker, and we will talk about that a little bit later. As you guys can see at the top of my screen, I have some tabs open, but that is that. Let's go ahead and talk about Real Madrid, guys. Kylian Mbappe, his second game for Real Madrid, his first league game for Real Madrid in La Liga, and overall, what a disappointment of a game. Mallorca, man, they absolutely did some. They played really good. They actually played really good. They had a fair amount of shots, 12 shots against versus Real Madrid's 13, but it's also like you can take shots randomly. It's the way that Mallorca created these shots were actually some pretty decent shots. They had some good runs in behind. Um, so they had some good shots, and they ended up getting a goal off of a corner and then headed into the back of the net. But overall, Mallorca, they did a really good job. Real Madrid, on the other hand, for their standards, with the players that they have, they play at some of the best. Like, this is the main team. It couldn't be any more better than this. Courtois, Eder Militao, Rudiger, Carvajal, Ferland Mendy, Jude Bellingham, Aurelien Chouameni, Federico Valverde, Rodrigo, Kylian Mbappe, and Vinicius Junior. So these are the best players. This is their main the main team, and and I expected much more from them. The backline was okay. Of course, as I said, they did a good job against Mallorca, but Mallorca for Mallorca standards, I think they did good, like against a team like Real Madrid with these players. Now, Jude Bellingham, man, this guy in the Super Cup game, if to win that trophy, against Atalanta, and also in this game, man, this guy is a different gravy, and you can. And the reason I feel like Jude Bellingham, I'm starting to notice him in these games a bit more, is because now with the departure of Toni Kroos, retired from football, and kind of the decreased playing time of Luka Modric, there's not really a playmaker in this team, and I'm starting to notice watching his highlights in some of the games that Real Madrid, that Jude Bellingham is kind of becoming that guy who creates those chances. This guy, man, he's everywhere on the pitch. Against that Super Cup game, he was everywhere. In the attack, he was creating the chances. He got the assist for Kylian Mbappe's first goal, which was the first goal that Real Madrid scored that game. Um, he got if he's defensively, he's always there. And at halftime, he was actually saying that, "Oh, you front three, Vinny, Mbappe, Rodrigo, you need to finish your shots because running back to defend is a pain." So yeah, man, that just shows that that's not really selfishness. That shows some captain leader mentality. Like, okay, boost up the team. Um, but I am like, even if you guys don't perform well, I am there to defend. I will do my job. He will run back. So that's just well fair from Jude Bellingham. What more can you say? If your attack is not doing what they're supposed to do to score goals to win the game, you need to say something. And he came out, he said it, um, and he's doing his job well. This guy, as I said, the through balls, there's something about him. The way, like, if he loses the balls, I think it's the way that he's always composed, and even if he kind of trips down, he gets back up quickly and goes for the challenge. He's just big. Like the way that he can reach with his legs is just big, and I'm not gonna say that he plays exactly like Zinedine Zidane, but in some ways he does. I think some of the reasons I'd say he does is because of his body type. I think his build, the way he moves, is a little bit like him. But overall, Zinedine Zidane was a different gravy. The dribbles he makes, the runs he makes was something different. He's a different role from Jude Bellingham. Zinedine Zidane, Zizou, the one and only Zizou, is like they have a different role from Jude Bellingham, but you can kind of see some of the similarities. The reach, the long leg reaches, the body style, the way they turn and kind of stuff. You can kind of see a little bit of similarities. But that is that. As I said, Kylian Mbappe, he tried to. I feel like sometimes he could have let go of the ball, like to pass it, and then they could have passed, like done some 1-2 plays there. He could have done that. A huge problem with this Real Madrid team is the amount of players they have at left wing. Let's go back and set up this team here because this was some of the worst football I've seen. The first, not the worst football, but the worst positioning. Now, I'm no hater of Carlo Ancelotti, man. This guy is one of the greatest managers, the greatest coaches, whatever you want to say. Of course, PSG legend as well. He managed PSG for 1 or 2 seasons, I believe. Um, Not I believe. Like I know he managed PSG. I don't know if it was 1 season or I think it was 2 seasons, and then they sacked him. But what I will say, guys, I rate him. He's an amazing manager. And what I like about Carlo Ancelotti is he allows his players to move wherever they want. They have the free roam type of play style. And the reason he does that is because he wants players to know themselves where to be in what moments to give the passing options to each other. He doesn't restrict players to be in certain spots. He lets the players move, to move around, to be versatile. So, and for a player like Kylian Mbappe and Vinny Jr. and Rodrigo and Jude Bellingham, like to go around, move around the pitch defensively and attack. Valverde especially as well. This guy's everywhere on the pitch, of course. It fits their playing style. But one problem I've noticed in that game as well, in that league game, in the Super Cup, this wasn't a problem. In the league game though, the first goal, well, it was a good goal by Rodrigo. But what we have here is you have these players all here. You have these Mallorca players defending all over here. The ball rebounds away, and for some reason, Rodrigo is a right winger. Like, okay, for Kylian Mbappe and Vinny, it makes sense that they're both rushing the ball. First of all, why are two of them rushing the ball? And then even more surprisingly is Rodrigo is a right winger and he's on the. There were some moments he was making the runs that Vinny and Mbappe make on the left side when he's a right winger. So there were the in this the play where they scored their goal, the one and only goal that Real Madrid scored, it rebounded off, and next thing you see Mbappe, Vinny, and Rodrigo all rushing the ball. It's just crazy, man. Like I think that's one problem is they have too many attackers. They need to kind of calm things down, if you get what I mean. Um, so yeah, and then they ended up getting some like it kind of rebounded away. Mbappe kind of went further out. The ball went here. He did the back heel to Rodrigo, and then Rodrigo kind of looks for that gap through the defense, like over here, and then does a finesse top in. So amazing goal. But it's just the fact that you shouldn't have all three players compact in one spot. They need to kind of learn how they play. If so you have Mbappe here, Rodrigo here, Vinny here. They should be interchanging with each other. They shouldn't all be on one side. If if Mbappe goes out wide, then Vinny should read like Vinny should see that and maybe Vinny go into the middle. If Rodrigo goes into the middle to try to like I don't know go like for a run in behind or something. Mbappe should see that and make the run out wide and know there's a space over here no one is going to. Let me go over there. But I mean, at the same time, when all of them are on one side, I guess what that does is kind of overloads the team to be more on this side and allows like runs for Valverde or Carvajal to make over here, and then cross it into one of these players over here. But overall, like It's not the best though. Like to all be in one area. Like it was crazy. I saw like I just see three people making the run, and I was like, what are we doing here, man? Um, Rodrigo goal, which is Mallorca. Does it show like an image of them all three rushing? Like they all three rushed it here, man. But yeah, he gets this nice finesse angle there. Nah, it doesn't show like the press, but yeah, that is that for Real Madrid. Overall, yeah, you expect better. So let's see what they can do this weekend. Who do they play this weekend? Real Valladolid. Is that their name? Real? Don't they have Real? Yeah, Real Valladolid. 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 But that is that. Let's go ahead and talk a bit about the Barcelona as well. Man, now I don't want to get onto this Ter Stegen out train. I don't want to be one of those guys. But I will say that Ter Stegen has been a little bit shaky with his feet and with his hands, with his reactions, with everything. He has been a bit shaky, I will say that. But at the same time, can you really blame it on him? Because that defense, like some of the like that first goal that Valencia scored in the 44th minute, like they just let the man run in behind the defense, Balde, and it's just Balde is watching him going behind. He's not even trying to mark him and win the ball in the air to challenge him in the air. He's just watching it going behind. No one's marking him. The ball goes through. Now, maybe Ter Stegen could have ran out to catch it, but not all keepers, like, you expect your back line to go for the challenge at least. So, because if he comes off his line there, then if the player does win the ball in the air, then it's definitely going in. At least if the player wins the ball in the air, then there's a keeper to maybe save it, which in this case he didn't even save it. But at the same time, there's no one marking him, brother. If we check a look here, Hugo Duro. Hugo Duro. Nah, it doesn't even show, man. It doesn't show, but yeah, they're just letting the man go in behind. That's one problem. But I will say overall, Ter Stegen, man, like there was one moment he got the ball, he tries to pass it out wide to Kunde, and then it gets like it was the softest pass ever, and then the other team, I think it was Hugo Duro again, who gets the ball, intercepts the ball, goes for a chance, and Ter Stegen saved it again. But it's still that those small mistakes that he's making is you're starting to notice it. He's getting a bit older now, but Barcelona either probably next season or in the January transfer window definitely need to look out for a goalkeeper because yeah, he's not it. And with the way that Hansi Flick plays, he likes players who can hold onto the ball to pass the ball easily. And Ter Stegen, man, he's just not him. I wanted to mention that, but other than that, Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, man, he is him, man. Like the way that he moves, he's not a pure striker. He's more like a false nine type player, like a Karim Benzema type player. Not a Karim Benzema player, but like a Harry Kane. He's a Harry Kane type player. Like he's not a Haaland player. He's more a player who can hold on to the ball, move the ball around. Um, and I think he fits Barcelona's style really well. I feel like for Haaland, Haaland wouldn't fit Barca's style. I wouldn't say. I don't know because Haaland is more a player where you need to play the ball towards Haaland. With Lewa, with Barcelona, they don't really play the ball to Lewa. They just do what they do. They see if he's open, they pass it to him. They don't focus on passing it to him. With players like Mbappe, Vinny, Haaland, you like the rest of the team have to look for them. Let me try to go to them. So but with Barcelona, they play more collectively. You could say They're not really a one man player like play to him, play to him. So yeah, not much there. I just want to say something about that back line was a bit iffy. Other than that, Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Lewandowski, amazing performances for them. That back line though, and Ter Stegen, I don't know, man. What are they doing? But lastly, let's go ahead and talk about Manchester City versus Chelsea, guys. Of course, the first big game of the season. Next week, I think we have City versus Sheffield, I think, or something like that. And then the week after that, or maybe in 3 weeks' time, we have City versus Arsenal. So some big games here for City in the start of the Prem. Um, but guys, yeah, they played some really good football. Of course, what do you expect from City? Jeremy Doku, man, this guy always holding the ball in his possession. Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland, of course, scoring the first goal of the season for Manchester City. Kovacic, Gvardiol, Ruben Diaz. I mean, what can you expect from Manchester City? But I want to talk about Chelsea, man. We won't talk about the goals. I want to talk about a little bit about Chelsea. Chelsea are a good team. They are a team who have talent. It's just they can't execute that talent when they come to a game. And Kunku, man, this guy needs a player. This guy needs a team that can finish the goals. This guy, like, he's amazing, of course, from PSG. He's always open. He's available. He has the good passing, the vision. He just needs someone who can finish the strikes. Enzo Fernandez, he had a decent game. Cole Palmer, of course, this guy's cooking since last season. And Nicholas Jackson, guys, this guy needs to. I feel like sometimes he doesn't think correctly. He needs to like sometimes he's in his own mind. He needs to know where to be in the right moments, when to take the right opportunity to score a goal. I think that's the problem with Chelsea. Other than that, like there's talent in this team, of course. You got Mudrik, they got Pedro Neto, and he came on as a sub. For a little bit, he was cooking. He was doing really, really good for a little bit. There was some moments where he could like kind of messed up, but other than that, like as a substitute, he did really good. They got Mudrik. In the middle, they got of course Caicedo, Lavia, and Enzo Fernandes. Um, and the back line is okay as well. This who's this guy? Ryan Sanchez, Robert Sanchez. He's a decent keeper. I feel like sometimes like he could make some better saves, but overall, there's a lot of talent in this Chelsea team. It's just they can't execute it. But I'm not gonna say, oh, Chelsea are gonna flop again just off of this first game. It's Manchester City. You can't stop Man City, of course. It's hard to stop them. But I will say that, like, it was definitely a what are we trying to say here? That like it was a hard game for Man City, but I'm not expecting Chelsea to flop again. I expect them to do good. I'd honestly say they can get into like top five. If I had to predict, I'd say City first, Arsenal second, or maybe vice versa. Liverpool, Liverpool, United. I think United can do good. Man, United have been cooking now. They got Lenny Euro for 60 mil from Lille, and he got injured. He's out for 3 months. Hoyland, no, not Hoyland. Someone else is out for 3 months as well. Was it Hoyland? It could have been Hoyland. But Xerxes, man, this guy is an incredible striker. They got Matthijs de Ligt now. They got Mazraoui, man. I think that, bro, United are like they're trying to be Ajax. They got like Ten Hag brought Ajax with him. Ten Hag, he used the previous manager at Ajax. He came here. He brought Anthony. He brought Alessandro Martinez. Now he brought De Ligt and Mazraoui. So that's already four. There was one more player I think he brought with him. I forgot who it was. But they're getting the Dutch players as well because he's Dutch, of course, Xerxes. So it's just incredible to see what he's doing. He's bringing Ajax, but I feel like Onana, he brought Onana with him in net. But I feel like now he has a team that he's comfortable with. There's players that have played with him before or have played under him before. Maybe not like him as being the manager, maybe like an assistant manager, but there's players who kind of respect him because of course with his Ajax times, and they were former Ajax players. Maybe he's Dutch and stuff like that. I really think that these players that he have now can play with each other because they have similar play style. De Ligt and Mazraoui, both from Bayern, so they're really good together with Onana in the back. So that back line can all read each other. They know the play styles of each other. So I'm expecting a lot from United and Chelsea. I think they can both get top six, top five, maybe even as well. So that is that. Not much really to talk about in depth over there. It's mainly PSG we talk in depth about. Almost done deal between Paris Saint Germain and West Ham for Carlos Soler. This guy was a decent sub. I don't know why we let him go. But to be fair, I don't know if he would have gotten much playing time because now with the arrival of João Neves is here. Now, this is one of my most questionable transfers. Manchester United are now close on getting Manuel Ugarte. Deal done. So, not deal done, but it's close. The deal is getting done. As revealed last week, United want to proceed with a loan plus obligation to buy, and meeting with Paris Saint Germain was positive. Now, the reason I like we have a lot of midfielders now: Fabian Ruiz, João Neves, Warren Emery, Vitinha. But for me, I feel like we need to keep someone who's more defensive oriented, who has that real defensive oriented role. Bro, we're gonna be stuck out here with Danilo for another year, man. Get Danilo Pereira out of here, man. I wanted to keep Ugarte. I feel like it would have been decent enough to maybe move him to center back. I think try him out in the defense. I feel like would have been good, but I guess Luis Enrique didn't want to. I'm really gonna miss Manuel Ugarte, man. This is some of the worst transfers ever. I don't mind. I guess we're gonna get some of the cash back for João Neves because we paid, I think 80 mil it was for João Neves from Benfica, and now I guess like the board wants to get some of the cash back. But I don't know, like man, he's an amazing player. A defensive oriented. He's always hungry for the ball. He's really good, man. But I guess they want to let him go. Yeah, here's Goncalo Ramos injured. Now, the replacement they are looking to get is Ademola Lookman, of course, from Atalanta. And this guy scored a hat trick in the Europa League final against Bayern Leverkusen. None other than Bayern Leverkusen, who went undefeated in all competitions last season, went to the Europa League final, and got absolutely destroyed by an incredible performance by Ademola Lookman. Amazing hat trick by an amazing performance by Atalanta. Now, the reason why I don't rate this transfer, I don't mind if we get another player. The reason that I don't rate it is because I feel like the way that he plays is too similar to players that we already have. Ousmane Dembele, Desiree Doué, who we just signed as well from Stade Rennes. Um, who else do we have? Bradley Barcola. I feel like they're kind of more wingers, agile wingers. We need someone who's a main striker. I feel like Victor Osimhen would have been good. Who else can we say? And like players who have a similar role to Victor Osimhen. Maybe someone like who's at AC Milan. I don't know. There's not really anyone at AC Milan I would take. Like Taremi would have been pretty cool as well, who just went to Inter Milan. But we need someone who can play more in that central striker role. Someone whose main job in their career is to finish the goal. I feel like Lookman is someone who's more versatile. He can play on the wing. He can play a striker. We need someone who's mainly a striker. But other than that, I wouldn't mind it. But that's my opinion there. Mika Marino to Arsenal. This is not going to happen yet. We will talk about this on the next episode, though. And then João Felix as well. Not much. But yeah, I don't know. I think we'll talk a little bit more on transfers in the next episode. I want to confirm what games do we have this weekend? Tomorrow, Paris Saint Germain versus Montpellier, and then United Brighton, Aston Villa Arsenal, not bad. Barcelona Athletic Club with Nico Williams. Some decent games there. Lyon Monaco. Ooh, that's pretty decent. But other than that, okay, Atletico de Madrid and Girona. So we'll talk a bit more about them. I want to talk about Atletico de Madrid. They've made some amazing signings with Sorloth, Lenormand from Real Sociedad, Sorloth from Girona. Was he from Girona? I think. I know he was also from Real Sociedad. I think. Who else did they get? Julian Alvarez from Manchester City for 90 million, and Conor Gallagher from Chelsea. So they made some amazing signings. We want to talk about those signings. Uh, and yeah, as I mentioned, with João Felix also going to Chelsea, I mentioned Chelsea with the talent that they have. They just need to execute it better. And I think João Felix will definitely help with that execution. He's definitely going to help in that attack. Um, for sure. I feel like the link up of him, maybe Pedro Neto, uh, and Kunku and Cole Palmer is definitely going to fit really, really well with João Felix as well. Um, and other than that, I want to wait a little bit on the Gundogan deal, see if that goes through. So I'll see you guys next week, probably after we hit the second week of league games. Let's end it off with a footy tic tac toe as well. Some footy mind games because we are him. Let's do no timer. So Atletico de Madrid and Croatia. Oh no. United, Atletico de Madrid. We can go Memphis Depay. Croatia, Real Madrid. We can go Luka Modric. And then United, Real Madrid. We can go Casemiro. What else is there? Juve, Real Madrid. Who's Juve, Real Madrid? Cristiano Ronaldo. Juve, Atletico de Madrid. Oh, Croatia, Liverpool, bro. United, Liverpool as well, bro. What type of frauds are these guys up to? United, Liverpool. Wasn't this? No, I think bro, I had this before. What a negative ball knowledge for me. Juve, Liverpool. Henry Chan. United, Liverpool, bro. United, Liverpool. Who's like a snake who'd go from United to Liverpool? Croatia, Liverpool. There's no ways I'm getting that. Croatia, let. I don't know why I feel like Kovacic. Now he played for Real Madrid, not Atletico de Madrid. Rakitic, no. Nah, I'm not getting that. Juve, Atletico de Madrid. Who's Juve, Atletico de Madrid? No, I'm getting that. Let's take a look. Juve. Mandzukic, bro. Morata, bro. Morata couldn't be any more clear. And Mandzukic, bro. Croatian Atletico de Madrid. And then let's take a look. Croatian Liverpool players. Dejan Lovren. Nah, I know that guy. Biscan, bro. This is negative ball knowledge, man. And then United Liverpool players. United. Michael Owen, bro. Nah, that's some negative ball knowledge from me. Let's go check a look at Football Tenable. What is today's one? Most appearances for Paris Saint-Germain last season. Now we're cooking. Kylian Mbappe. Hakim Donnarumma. Dembele. Or Vitinha for sure. Dembele. Marquinhos. What? Lucas Hernandez for sure. Who else could we have had? Sarah Emery, Donnarumma, not Asensio. I know, is like a Colomwani under? Colomwani? Maybe Goncalo Ramos? Oh, Barcola. I don't know. I feel like Goncalo Ramos wouldn't. I don't know if he is. Two more players. We said Dembele. I feel like it's a midfielder. Did Zaire Emery? Zaire Emery. I wouldn't say. Oh, he did. He did. And one more. Who is our other midfielder? We said Hakimi or no? We didn't put Hakimi. Easy, man. We are just him. We are him. Let's see. Let's just see. What is this? Okay. Um, let's go Alvin. Alright, so he's in the Prem. Not for City though. Let's go Cole Palmer. Oh, but he's a forward. Does Cole Palmer count as a midfielder? Let's go. It does. He's older as well. He's a midfielder that's older. Maybe like a Bruno Fernandes. Nah, but his kid number is number 8, I think. We need someone who's like an 18 or something. Like a Casemiro. No, Casemiro is like a 6 or something. Like a James Madison. No, so the kid number is still high. I think Bruno is number 18, not 8. He is 8, bro. What am I saying? Who do they have? Ericsson? Let's go. Easy, man. We are him. We are him. I am him. Let's go out. What else is there? What do you take? Tactile football bingo. Oh, this one. Yeah, this is good. Let's do timer. Okay, Sergio Aguero, Argentina. Chicharito, Mexican. Perisic, Croatian. Gavardio. Um, nah, nothing. Gibbs White. Is he at Aston Villa? I don't think it's Aston Villa. No. Aguerd. West Ham. No, I think no. No, I think Aguerd is West Ham. Didier Drogba. Didier Drogba. English League top goal scorer. Higuain. Guardado, bro. Who the hell is this guy, man? Nicolas Jackson. Let's go, man. Senegal. Sebastian Haller. Koulibaly. No. Zinchenko. Van der Vaart. Ivan Toney. Nah, bro. Isn't this guy at Aston Villa now, though? Mohamed Salah. Klopp. Nicolas Gonzalez. I thought this guy was at Lazio, no? Americ Laporte. Euros winner, maybe? Yeah, this past year, Spain just won, not maybe. Buendia. Really? This guy for Nice? Cisse. Quaresma. Diego Milito also worked here. Maybe Italian top division winner with Inter. Christian Romero. I don't know, maybe River Plate. Jovic. Luka Jovic. No, I don't think this guy fits anything. Ruben Diaz. Nothing here as well. Thierry Henry. Nothing here as well. Hakim Ziyech. Nah, Lukaku at Chelsea, I think. Shevchenko. Nah, this guy's not getting nothing here. Patrice Evra. I don't know, maybe Nice. Okay. James Madison, nah, he's not Aston Villa either. And yeah, over here, unlucky. Box, and this is the other one. Super draft, no. Missing 11. What's the game we have today? Nah, I'm not getting none of that. Football Wordle. Let's just try this last one here. Let's do hard difficulty. Okay, so select a stat. I reckon Schlotterbeck would have more duels won than Frankie de Jong. Surely. Okay, barely though. I reckon more passes, but the way that City play. But this is Leipzig though. Definitely more. Nah, definitely more passes. I feel like. Oh shoot. Duels won. Let's go. DeMarco. Now this guy would have more duels won than DeMarco. He's more of a fullback, so he's going to be attacking more than winning duels. This guy's definitely going to have more duels won. But what do they count duels won? Like defensively, attackingly, maybe like both. Let's try the super draft as well. Let's try to get it with smallest 11. So who's a small player at Marseille? What? Nah, this is some I don't know. Jonathan Klaus. Who else do these frauds have? Oh wait, why is the quality terrible? Jonathan Klaus, Frankfurt. 178, bro? Nah, no ways. Frankfurt. I don't know, I can guess. Pacho. Bayern. 187, bro? Bayern Munich. Who's like a short midget at Bayern Munich? Kimmich. 177, okay. Dybala. Italy. Verratti. Nah, they don't have him. Shoot. I don't know. Barella. Chiesa. Oh, no. What's his name? Nah. What's that winger? Lorenzo Insigne. Right, he's not here. We're going with Chiesa. 175. That's still pretty short. Morocco. I don't know. I guess Hakimi. 181, bro. France. Kante for sure. Nah, bro. I did the wrong guy, bro. I just quickly pressed it. I don't know. Pedri. 174. Nah, German strikers. Nah, there's also keepers though. Who's gonna be a short keeper? Nah, Rudiger ain't big, bro. Can I do Cruz? Um, I don't know. Fulkrig. I feel like someone like Leroy Sané would be a little bit short. 185, man. $196, my dough. I don't know. We'll just do Marquinhos. We're not getting the shortest guy ever. Anyways, that's gonna end it off. Another. Let's not show any more of my negative ball knowledge, guys. It wasn't really the best podcast. We have been back after a while. It's also 9 o'clock, so I wasn't really in the best. Like I really couldn't go in depth a lot in some of the later games, like this Chelsea City game. I didn't really go too much in depth, but we are back after 3 months. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed it. The future podcast will be more in depth for sure. It's 9 o'clock though. It's been a long day. It's one of those things. And there's a lot to talk about. We've just come back after 3 months, so I need to get back into the FIFA flow. If you get what I mean. Um, if you know, like I don't know, like I tried to do like a pun there, like get back into the podcast FIFA flow type of of vibes. But yeah, 3 months since the last podcast. It's also 9 o'clock, so we didn't have the most in-depth stuff. But guys, if you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that bell. We will be back next week with the second week of games, some more transfer news. But yeah, for now, stay happy, stay positive, stay safe, and I'll see you later. Bye.